Okay. So the first question. So at some point, was there just no effort to be connected to be in the zero? Did you find that?
For me,
yes.
It's not. It's another, let's say, plane, or it's not like. Usually, it's like, oh, I shift from a state, and now you're speaking this language,
Okay.
like how you could stay there or something like that. But it's not that.
Mm-hmm.
It's something which is underground of everything, like the screen. So this seeing is not a shifting. It's not a shifting.
Mm-hmm.
That's different. That's seeing the whole puzzle from the screen. Oh, like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a shift. That's why it's not an awakening or enlightenment. Like Carl would say, it's not happening in time. It's not an happening. A shift would be in time. A shift needs movement.
Mm.
So that's why the mind can't grasp it, and it cannot provoke it, or it can try, but it's not. Yes.
Okay. Because listening to what people say, you and other satsangs, I do realise my mind had grasped it and made a path which isn't really true.
To what, sorry?
My mind had grasped the concept and it had built a path which now isn't true anymore.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But what I experience when with you, it's often something which I would call it the zero. It seems like it's something which is always here, whether I notice it or not.
Yeah.
So I notice it just now. I know there's still an I. There's an I that notices it and an I experiencing it. So I understand the attachment to that will fall away. But it doesn't seem so, like my experience I'm having just now doesn't seem so mysterious.
So mysterious.
Yes.
And you would expect this to be something wonderful or mysterious, something like that.
No, I want this to be it.
You want what?
I want what I'm having now to be it.
To be what?
To be the zero.
Aha.
You know?
Yeah, yeah.
But it's hard to communicate with language.
But no, if it is something you can see or experience, something like this, you can still do neti. Mm-hmm. You don't risk anything, right?
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
So you can deny anything, not that. And if it stays, if what you are, the zero notion that you are, the self, it will not be affected by neti.
Okay.
So if you have a doubt, then any doubt, neti. Because you even doubt the doubter. Not only because you are not sure about something, but who is not sure about something. So this one, the doubter, that's what we say sometimes, doubt the doubter. This is neti.
Mm-hmm.
And you stay here, but it's not the state, it's just doubt the doubter. It's absolute neti. Nothing, you don't keep anything. But it's like, feels like for the eye is dangerous. It feels like I've been always traveling with so many props. Now my last props, or any props, is taken away.
Yes, it is like that.
Can I be without props? Can I be without props? Am I still without any props?
Yes.
It's like in a circus. Now you're asked to be what you are without no props, no support, no holding, nothing. No reference point. Mm-hmm. No good or bad, samadhi. No mind or mind, like empty mind, or because especially as a meditation teacher, you have been doing that, is there is many reference points. There are many reference points. How the mind should be, stillness, the breathing, or whatever kind of meditation. So it's used to hold to a particular way of being, which is not really being because it's already in the doing.
Okay, yes. Yeah, I do experience it's independent from the mind because it doesn't matter whether I'm thinking or not. But I know you shouldn't label it. But what about the experience of expansion? Would you say that's normally an experience you would have with this? Because it's bigger than the one.
Yes, it's still what expansion needs space.
Oh,
right?
Okay, right, yeah.
This is how you can recognize, whatever need time and space is in the mirage of time and space. Easy. But nothing wrong with that. We don't say it's wrong or right. It's just a phenomena happening, and it's welcome. Yeah.
Oh, I think that's something.
Yeah, no problem. You can stay here. Yeah. Okay. You can sit
here.
More comfortable. You see, there are so many talks this January.
Yeah.
This morning
there
was
is a 5 o'clock. There is one by
was. Yes. So it's like I knew that, but I still decided to.
Yeah, I think
to
because
start
it's
the
5 o'clock. No, so today that's only for as 5 and 6. Then 13. So only during the weekends. It's
Yes. But it's still kept on.
Right.
After Carl will be finished and Gangamira leaving on 17th and so on. So
right.
So after mid-January, there'll be much less talks on this. But now it's like the big. That's right. But yes, it's a lot. There was this morning Ganesha also.
Ganesha.
Who was a living disciple of Ramana Maharishi.
Okay.
This morning. So you see, so it's like the peak season now.
Oh, big season.
Peak of the season until mid-January. After it starts to quiet down, it means yes. So anyway, so welcome. Yeah. We met in Carl last year. Satsang last year. Talks. Yes. Deva. Yes. So. Well, I forgot where we were.
You were talking about expansion, but that's within time and space.
Yes, whatever, even the experience of expansion. This is how you recognize what is what. Whatever needs time and space to express itself is an experience. So it's still a mirage, right? So easy. Because he's a meditation teacher, so many experiences and this and that, so it can be misleading. And many people who have a solid background, a lot of practice. I had also, so I know you can stay stuck in some planes or level or whatever. It's a kind of conditioning. If it's a high level of conditioning, it's still a conditioning, right? Somehow. So how to get out of it, because our mind like it also, some states.
Yes.
No mind or this or samadhi or light or whatever. But nothing wrong with that. If expansion is there, because again, if you go against, you say no. You can say neti as a recognition of.
These are all milestones.
Yes.
These are all milestones. Like these all states are milestones to the the state actually, our natural state.
But not. It's like just happening in the dream.
Yeah.
But if you say milestones, then it means that you have go through that in order to be what you are. But no, what you are does not need these milestones even.
Right.
But it's like a recognition of not neti, not that, not this, not that. But while this neti is going on, you don't go in the game of pull and push. The I who want to push or pull, you know. Oh, this is neti, so I push it. It should not be there. No, this is subtle.
Okay.
It's not because it is recognized as an expression, this expression, that you need to push it away, push away. Just neti. Oh, I see it's not that, right? But it's welcome to be here, because otherwise you fell in the game of controlship. You want to control it. This is a mistake sometimes we do. Neti, so I push it back. No, I should not. It should not be there. No, why not? Like you can meditate, you can do any. The language are usually 0 and 1. So 0 is the self, what is, or what Carl call what you are, what you cannot not be, right? And the 1 is the first appearance. From 0, first came 1, and then 2, 3, 4. Yes, but nothing wrong for the 1 to do anything. The 1 can bhakti, meditation, self-inquiry, but for the 0 that we are, it does not make any difference. So we can see, as I was saying, self-inquiry as an ice cream for the 1. It's just to make it more comfortable, this dream. But for the self, there is no difference between teaching meditation. The other day somebody was telling him, no, but once you know that, then you should not teach meditation. I said, no, why not? Meditation can be like you teach let's say any practice, aerobic or sport for well-being. So if you teach meditation to have a more quiet mind, breathing or whatever, or yoga to have a flexible body, but as long as you don't take it for something that will free you from the wheel, from samsara, if you don't mistake it for that, then it's fine. You use it just as a tool, like you repair a car. And then you teach meditation in the same purpose. You take a shower, you go to poo, whatever.
Like people say, like through yoga, you are using your body to go beyond the body.
Yes, but that is mistaking in that case, because they have an aim to go beyond the body to achieve something. And to achieve something, it means you want to maybe moksha, liberation, enlightenment or something. But then you place yourself in time, right?
Yeah.
And then you confirm the dream. So if you do yoga for body wellness without an aim for moksha, liberation or something, then it's fine. But if you mistake it, then you
get stuck up.
You stuck yourself because you take it for that. Anything in the space and time dream which we take for something which will lead to that, it's because it makes it a road, a path on time and space, and we then again we are not here now what we are.
Right.
But the main thing is to realize that we are that anyway, whether I do yoga or meditation or not. For that, what I am, it does not make any difference. It's only for the 1. So if you differentiate between 0 and 1, it's fine. What I am, the zero notion. In zero notion, nothing can enter. So it's the absolute neti, right? But then, whatever the 1 is doing, I have no power. If the I is seen as a phantom, the ego is seen as an illusion, as well as free will, then who is doing what? The illusory 1 is doing illusory action. As an illusory phantom world.
Right.
So who is controlling what? Once you see that, then the idea of controlling, it might be there in the play of the actor. Sometimes the actor may control or not, but for what you are, you see that you have no preference to be in control or no control. You see it as a phantom. If sometimes you are in a play as a phantom of controlling something, you see it as a phantomatic control. You see, otherwise if you say, oh no, I don't control, you are in I. Again, the I who deny or who don't want that. So there is a preference. So the game of pull and push, the zero is not included, is not in that game of pull and push, only the one. Push and pull. Desire, attachment or aversion, right? It's always two ways. So it's the nature of the one, and we cannot stop.
So what's the relation between this 0 and 1?
No relation. No relation because the self is totally independent. The self, the zero, is dreaming to be one, but is not affected by any behavior of the one. That's the greatness of the dream. That Shiva or the zero can dream anything, and is happy to let's have this dream, and the worst happening will not affect me. So what is greater than that? To be able to dream anything, the worst terrible happening, the war and or whatever, or the best words, experiences, and then to not be affected by anything. So that's the zero nature, what we are. But the one is going through this. Low and
the
high.
one is Shakti.
Sorry?
One is Shakti.
Yes, one is Shakti. One, the first.
This is a concept very little difficult to understand.
Yes.
0, 1.
Yeah, but then slowly, the one is like the Shruti, you know. Some people call it, in some traditions, the I, the first I.
Okay.
In Advaita, for example.
First
like this.
Yeah.
I was for 20 years in Saint Mat, meditation on inner light and sound. So this is called the word in the Bible, you know.
Yeah.
In the beginning was the word,
Yeah.
the word was with God, and the word was God,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
So this first I awareness, as Carl is calling it, or the word, or the light and sound, or the Shruti, this is the first power who came out of the zero. So in different traditions, they will call it by different names or different. Also, it will come out like when you say the first I is not the same like light and sound. But last year, when I talked with Carl about that, he said light and sound is the highest meditation. He knows, because this meditation on the inner light and sound is to concentrate on this Shruti, this sound. It's not the outer music, it's something from inside. So to every plane of consciousness there is a different sound. So from the zero, the first sound is the most subtle sound came, you know, from the top. From the absolute, the first sound. And then a grosser sound. And every sound is related to a different plane of consciousness. So from above it will be like they call this in Saint Mat Satchkan, and then there will be Par Brahman, and then Brahman, which is super causal, and then astral, and then physical, right? And then the idea in Saint Mat is to connect. You are given Nam Dan. I was doing that, conveying this to people in the name of my guru at that time, and you have contact with the Nam, the name, the word, light and sound. And then you meditate on, concentrate in that, inside, and then the idea is to go like Russian puppets, you know, who are embedded on the top of each other like that. So from the physical, you can learn to leave the physical, and then as an astral body, you see that you are not the physical. And then you go out of the astral, you are not the astral, and then you are not the causal, and then you are not the super causal. And you take all your clothes, and what is left? What is left? You know?
Yes.
That's the idea.
The neti, even exactly the idea of neti.
Neti, but in practical from body to body, you know? And then you can go up to the Shruti, what Carl calls the I awareness, what they call the word of the Bible, or the first Shruti, right? But as Carl said, you realize that what we are is prior to that. That what we are is prior to the first Shruti, right?
Oh, okay.
So instead of going from puppets to puppets out like that, another way is horizontally, like self-inquiry, you question, who am I? Or am I?
Am I, yeah.
Or
All
am
are
I?
saying am I, right?
Yes. So I. And then you don't need to go through all this, because
Straight
you
away.
go to the root,
To the root.
I. And then first you do self-inquiry on the sense of ego, whether it is sensed by physical, emotional or mental. Then you grasp the sense of I anyhow. And then
you don't get an answer, but you go to that state.
the sense
Sense.
of I.
Sense of
And you can do it 24 hours. When you work, that's why meditation becomes 24/7. When you work, at home, anywhere. Sense of I. You connect with that. You grasp it anyhow. And then this sense of I will seen more and more as a phantom and dissolve or something like that. And then what will come out? This first maybe I amness, because you will feel like more space-like, right? I is disappearing, but space is still there, right? And sense of oneness. And then further, what will shine forth will be the Shruti. Shruti I, the original, the first, the word of the Bible, or the I awareness. But then, even that, which is the first appearance, is we are prior to that. That, what we are, is prior to this first one. That is a zero notion where you cannot say anything about it, because in zero is like this, in zero notion.
That is right.
What can you put? Not even the Shruti I or the word or anything, or the light or the lingam, nothing. We cannot say anything, and that's why it's the best secret. What we are is the best kept secret that nothing can touch. Like in the Bhagavad Gita, the fire cannot burn it, the sword cannot cut it. Nothing can happen to what we are. It's just a play. It's untouchable by the worst devils or the worst whatever it is experiences. And you will come back when you realize what you are. You see, oh, nothing happened to me.
You are free.
Yes, you can say that, but then any word we say will be too much, because free cannot penetrate the zero notion. Because any common word we say, it creates its opposite. So that's why I like the zero notion, because you say free, then you try to put it inside zero notion. It cannot enter anything. No space for.
It's a limitation of
language. So we can use pointers. But at the end, zero notion. So what can we say about what we are? We can only turn around and dance like the Sufi dancer. That's what we do, no? But that's yeah. Any comment? Any question?
So, in your opinion, which is the best sadhana, means like practice, which leads to this experience?
Which experience?
Experience of zero.
Zero is not an experience.
It's not an experience.
It's not an experience. It's prior to
that experience.
An experience. I prefer to speak like that. For me, zero is prior to experience. Experience is in time and space. To experience anything, you need a setting. It's like a theater, right?
Yeah, that's right.
So theater is made of two main ingredients: space and time. And space, there, we tried many times to be there. When we arrive there, where are you? Here. You cannot never actually be there. When you arrive there, it disappears like a mirage in the desert, An oasis, you are thirsty and you see an oasis with water, and you arrive, no water. And then you go further. There is the same. You arrive and there it disappears, it's here. You go see another there. disappear, still here. I'm always here. I try to grasp there, it's never happening, right? I will never be able to. So, and the same for time. Tomorrow, we arrive tomorrow, and then it becomes now. It can never be tomorrow. We try hard, very hard. So if you see the base of time and space as a mirage, like the scene of this theater, whatever happened in this mirage can only be a mirage. That's very easy way to see. Then whatever experience is recognized as a mirage within the mirage. 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 So then whatever happens, neti. And now, if in case he was saying, Douglas was saying at the beginning, but this I'm not sure is that, or I feel something which seems to be prior to anything. But in that case, you don't risk anything to neti. Because what you are cannot be disturbed or destroy anything. So you can do neti. If there is a doubt, then doubt the doubter, and doubt what is doubted, and you don't lose anything anyway. So no risk. There is no risk of being absolute neti or this fire. Shiva fire who does not let anything enter in this zero notion. It's like boiling somehow. This neti, this machine, absolute neti. Nothing can enter. They tried to enter.
You call that all three becomes one. The experiencer.
Sorry?
All three becomes one. The experiencer,
yes.
The experience, and the process of experiencing. All three become one. It's like that's a state.
But one is, we don't need to say one. It's like nothing can be said.
Yeah.
One is like
when all three merges, it becomes zero.
More zero than one. Yes, and that is like that. Yes, the absolute. Or we can say we are what we are is the absolute experience. Yes. This is what my teacher Shruti said, called the totality of consciousness. So it can be called the self, totality of consciousness, the zero, or like this or whatever. But it depends on the language of people or the Tao.
Yes.
Yeah, so it's like the screen, like Ramana Maharishi said, it's a screen on whatever, on which whatever is projected.
Yeah.
Any states of samadhi or dream or whatever.
It's a substratum.
Substratum. Yeah, so it's the totality of consciousness. And we are that, but now we are experiencing a state. But it's always shifting, and whatever we try to achieve as a state is not stable.
Not stable.
Maybe I cannot speak. So
whatever comes and goes, it's not permanent.
Yes. Anything? Well, please ask question. You can drink. No, I'm joking. Not this one, as you like. That's good.
You put green tea, tulsi.
Oh, this is yes. Oh,
Tulsi.
maybe I need to keep for me. I offered him one, but I could give you, but in case my throat is going.
No.
That's the reason. You want water?
No
water.
No.
Yes. So can you understand better my language? Is
Yes,
clear? It's easy. I use that also, not only 0 and 1, but to make things easier.
Right.
Because sometimes we're confused about from where it is said and this and that. Now it is clear. Even some teachers say speaking only from absolute. You don't practice anything. Don't do anything.
What Paul is doing actually is talking from the absolute point of view, right?
Yes, but not only.
Not always.
When
he's joking, he's in the...
Yes, both. Yes, but I feel, Ramana was talking to from any point of view, relating to each one.
Each one, yeah.
So if somebody could not grasp,
somehow,
he would say, meditate, do a mantra, bhakti, seva, physical service, whatever, because yes, if this inner ear who can hear I am that is not ready to hear that, the zero self-reconnection is not there, then you still need to speak to the one and tell whatever is said, whatever meditation practice or this. But I like to always keep the subliminal message. You can meditate, you can do self-inquiry, but what you are does not need that even.
Oh,
What you are does not need whatever.
oh, that's true.
Right. But why not? Let the one doing self-inquiry, the one can refine itself with less vasanas or whatever, but it's not, when it is seen as the phantom as not a doer, it's a phantom doer, then who is doing self-inquiry? You see? So you don't mind the one doing self-inquiry? Why not? From zero, from what you are, you see, and it's part of the dream.
Right.
And the self-inquiry, if you practice that, then the Shruti may appear to absorb the Vasana. It will suck dilute the Vasanas.
Okay.
If you don't run away from being here, because the tendency of the mind is to avoid to be here. Here, I mean, in
So if you
the.
always be here, the vasanas will be taken away.
If you without doing anything, just noticing the tendency of avoidance of the I, and to stay here, then what will happen? Triggers will come from outside to bring out the tendencies, the vasanas, or whatever, right?
Oh,
But then it happens by itself.
oh,
I'm not saying that you have to try to heal something, because that is a mistake. When you try to heal and this and deal with something, then you are in a doing and you
Yeah.
stay in the dream. But if you notice the tendency of avoidance of the mind, and you stay here, you don't run away from any triggers, it's not necessarily nice, but then you can see without any preference, you just see that, oh, it seems to dissolve. Fine, why not? But seeing that as part of the dream manifestation.
this place, Tiru has got something special. Like this morning, I came from my place, it's a far off place. I came from Kerala. Okay. The moment I landed here, there is some difference.
Yeah.
I became calm. Yesterday I was too much agitated. The moment I landed here in the morning, I found there is some kind of silence everywhere, some kind of calmness. So that means the place matters, right?
Yeah, it matters in the dream. But if you
Yeah.
live here for long, you will see that you can go in hell sometimes through fire of hell. Many
Oh,
people go through this
Oh.
burning here.
Oh.
Now you come just for visit, I guess, right?
Yeah,
For a week or something like
Yeah,
that.
yes.
But if you live here for several months or
Oh.
more, you will notice that and probably experience that burning.
Oh.
But sometimes it's there or not, sometimes there is peace. So it's not only, this is your personal experience,
Yeah.
and it may vary from person to person.
Person to person.
It's not that. To take this for that, would be again a mistake. That is prior to any experience, even
Yes.
that experience of peace. Because some people here are burning hell.
Oh.
Yes, and sometimes it's not, and like this, but here everything is seems to be intensified. It's like a magnet. And to activate whatever, but still part of the dream process. Like this. But not taking anything for that. Yes, well, peace, sense of peace, fine. Because also you might just go back from your job, family, or whatever it is, then some tension or out.
Tension.
It's also added to that.
Yeah,
Adding
that's
to
true.
that. So we cannot really know what is what, but this place is definitely special, yes.
Once, first time when I came here, I went to Samadhi, Ramana Samadhi, and I stayed here for a week. 12 days I stayed here, and I was leaving the previous previous night, around 8 o'clock in the Samadhi hall. I was sitting. I was telling Ramana, tomorrow morning, early morning, I'm leaving, and I was meditating. Suddenly, I really had a very beautiful experience. Again, maybe it's in a dream. I
Sure.
was feeling that I was in a complete vast peace and peace and peace. There is no body consciousness is lost. So it was a very wonderful experience. But again, that is after all, it's an experience.
It's an experience, and it's not
But
bad.
it was a wonderful experience.
It's not bad, and no need to run away from it, but to
Yeah.
recognize it as an experience.
Yes.
Otherwise, usually what we do is try to hold on to that and to reproduce, and we are in the game of
Then we have
doing,
the problem, yes.
doing, achieving.
No, actually, after that, many times I thought this is a benchmark for meditation. Then after some time, I realized that no, I shouldn't do it. Actually, I should not try to
Reproduce.
It was just an experience and gone.
Yes, but if you sit, so what is best in that case to do is to notice, the tendency of the mind to try to grasp. You don't need to hold it, no need to go in the game of pull and push, but just noticing. It's again being here.
Yeah.
Just to be, is enough.
Just be.
Just to be what you are and whatever, and noticing the tendency of the mind to push and pull. That's all.
Right.
Because always trying, something he likes, you see an ice cream, or a nice woman, or a nice experience, or something not nice, and like that. So he's always running after goodness, right? The mind. But there's also other side of the coin, which is the opposite, will run after us. As long as we run after well-being, then the other kind of the coin will run after us, because it's together, right?
Oh, it's together. Yeah, right.
So not running away from anything, and to take it as two sides of the coins, and feeling good or bad is part of the duality, So
It should view with the same, or good and bad should be viewed in the same way, right?
no, they are not the same. In the relative, they are different. They appear to be different, but then from it, without preference.
Without preference.
If you are here as just an image, but if you are as a zero, you don't mind anything, the self, anything coming in front, whatever comes, experience, good, bad, whatever the mind is judging, you don't need to move with it. I like to repeat what my teacher Ishwap always said to me some years back. He said, you have done many things in this life, in past life. What if from now you say, I don't do anything, I don't go anywhere. I let the body mind do whatever they have to do, but I'm done, I stay here.
You will stay as a witness.
No, witness is still in the dream.
Dream.
The witness is in the dream. To witness something, you have to be separate, right? So what we are is prior to any witnessing, or you can say the absolute witness in that case. Not splitted.
Not split.
Not a witness witnessing what is witnessed. Maybe we can say like that. But otherwise, if you say a witness, I should be a witness, this part of the... Yes, so it's not in a split mind, yes. Uncatchable. What we are is uncatchable. We can only be what we are. We cannot catch it. We cannot understand, catch it, grasp it, know it. We can only be. It's very simple. It's reduced to the minimum, be. But for the mind, it's complicated, Only be. It's so boring, just to be.
So I've heard a few teachers in that kind of era talking about needing to, when you're fed up with life or you'll eventually be exhausted, And what do you have to say about this? Because this kind of ties in well with the idea of almost predetermination, that we'll naturally become sick of the things which are a distraction, and any effort we're making, like sadhana, will exhaust us. So eventually, this whatever we're looking for should happen. I don't know, does that make sense?
Yeah. But she calls this a fire for freedom.
Yes, something
So
like
the fire for freedom is needed maybe at some point.
Okay.
I was telling the other day, I think you were here, the rocket.
Yes.
You know, the rocket is very good example. A rocket, to leave the Earth, then it has to put tremendous energy, effort to leave the attraction of the Earth.
Yeah.
But after some time, as the force of attraction of the Earth is becoming less, then reduce energy is not needed as much, less and less and less.
Escape velocity.
And at some point, no energy is needed because there is no attraction of the Earth. So it's the same. The seeking, the beginning, it seems effort need to be there. This fire for freedom. It gives a direction. So the idea, what is the idea behind discipline or practice or focus or the fire of freedom? Because the attention is splitted from the subject to the object. So if you see it as a circle, the center, the subject, is out of it, is not there. Attention is out on the outer object, on the circumference of the circle. So a teacher would say, you need to bring back your attention to the center. Pull the string of attention to where it's coming from. I, or whatever practice. So self-inquiry is I, inner light and sound meditation, or this or that. But the root is I, right? Or whatever practice.
Thoughtless awareness.
No, but first, let's say with the first idea, why we need to practice at some point, teachers say that, right? Is to the scattered attention to unscatter the attention and to bring back to the subject, right? To one point. According to the practice, it may vary, right? This is the idea behind practices, right? So, and once the attention is there, because the attention is like a manifestation of the self, is still in the time and space. We can say that what we are is the ultimate attention, which does not need attention, right? We are the attention which does not need attention. But out of that, from the one, there is an outcome of the original the attention that we are, which becomes a needy attention, which is going out. From the one is going to the other ones and need attention. So attention is going out, looking, because the self who is doing to be one is seeking for its true nature. Underlying that is the seeking of its true nature. Already, the one came out and is already lost. So I need to, somehow I lost myself, I need to find myself. So, but it's thinking that you need to project another I in order to find itself. That's why we seek for love, for attention, for approval outside, right? Because we forgot, we have cut our own authority, we forgot that we are that attention which does not need attention, or that love or whatever. We are what we cannot name, right? So we are being in the dream of the one, we are seeking for it outside. But then when you are tired, you tried everything, money, marriage, sex, success, power, everything you tried. And you are tired. So you go to a teacher and said, your attention is out on outer objects. Now you need to put back your attention because it's not there. What you are looking for is not there, out. It seems it's a reflection. But it's a reflection of the sun that you are, something like that.
Complete.
Then bring back.
All this.
Yes, so bring back your attention there. So this is meditation or self-inquiry like that. But then at some point, if you go to the end of self-inquiry, who is that? What is that? Beyond ego even, the sense of I, what is that awareness? or this first Shruti, and you stay there, and you may see that you are prior to that. So that's the idea. But some teacher from withdrawing attention to the center might lead you to what Carl called I amness, or the power of now from Eckhart Tolle, or this space-like, so there is kind of sense of no time, right? So time disappears, but the space is still there. Why? Ask this to a teacher, she could not tell me, but I see, because it's came in this order somehow. First, it's space-like. The time disappears. But then, space, the sense of space also in eye awareness, in the first Shruti, space also is seen as a mirage, right? So first, it seems for me like that. Time is seen as a mirage first, then space. It's a kind of expressing. In reality, it's all happening in the eternal now, but then you look at that and you see that you are in spite of all that.
In spite.
As Carl said. Yes, in spite. So it means with or without. You are without or with or without that Shruti, that I, that original word of the Bible. So whether it is expressed or not expressed, what we are, which is unnameable, untouchable, undescribable, is there. And its omnipresence is prior to presence of absence, so it's omnipresence. So whether we are in deep sleep or in the waking state or in dreaming state or in samadhi or awareness or whatever state, we are. So we are playing any games and we don't mind. But for the self, there is no difference between a rat or the highest self-realized person in the dream. So, because in reality there is no self-realized person, it cannot be, because the one is seen as a phantom, so who can be like that? So, in the dream it appears somebody is very pure or is in a high awareness or something, but from the self point of view there is no difference between that being and the rat. So the self, there is no idea of differentiation or comparison. So then you do, it's equal. So whatever happens, you don't mind. One day you are Indra, the god, the highest god, and the next day you are ant, and then fine. I'm dreaming, So whether I'm Indra or ant or rat or Ramana, it's all the same. So there is then this sense of carelessness, of so what? Like Ishwapuri say, the best mantra for him. He's an Indian, he's 91.
Who is
a small photo on the right of Ramana.
Who is that?
He's an Indian master of Surachap Yoga, Sant Mat, the meditation on inner light and sound. So I was like an initiation through him.
What's his name?
Ishwapuri. He's living in Chicago. He's 91.
Okay.
Yes. But this is the one who told me, now, if what if you say, I'm not going anywhere, I'm not doing anything, let the body mind do whatever they have to do. So but he said, the best mantra I ever know, I can give you is 2-word mantra. So what? Whatever happens, so what? So it could be the highest samadhi or whatever. Yes, so what? So what? And that's like Carl is also laughing about anything, the sense of humor. And Ishwapuri said the same. He said, we know 5 senses. But he said, there is a 6th sense. So we know the 5 senses: touch, hearing, smelling, so on. But there is a 6th sense, and this is said to be a sense for the woman has more this sense, higher sense, which is intuition. So we have the five sense and the sixth sense, but there is a higher sense which not everybody has necessarily, but unfortunately is a common sense. So it's a common sense to distinguish what from what, you know. So, but there is the highest of all the senses, and this is the eighth sense. The eighth sense, the highest of all the sense. And this is the sense of humor. You see? The same thing as Carly saying. So no contradiction. And because laughing is not laughing at others or this and that, or you can laugh at egos, you know, like these phantoms, pretend to be higher, lower, or this or that. But when you laugh at life, because you see as a movie, and you're part of the movie, and you say, oh, it's just a movie, you know. So the sense of humor is important, yes. Not to take seriously, but if sometimes the actor has to be serious, what to do? So bad. Well, it's also part of the movie. So yes. We'll not do it too long. We can continue, but
yeah, I think today I plan to go there also.
Yeah, you can leave anytime, and we'll make
no.
not too long, but we may continue if we like or not.
Yeah, that's.
But when you want to go, you are free.
But I will be back maybe tomorrow.
Tomorrow it's another place. You see on the poster in town.
Town where it is?
Near Post Office Road. But you see the poster?
Post Office Road.
Yeah. So when you come from Ramna Ashram, you take Post Office Road.
Yeah. Okay.
And then first left.
First left. Okay.
First left.
Right. You go to Ram Surat Kumar Ashram.
Yes. But way before that, you turn left.
Okay.
So first left in Post Office Road, and then it is number 8. It's like few houses. On the right side is a yoga rooftop.
Okay.
Yeah. So anything before you leave? You're leaving now, or you?
No, I will leave now. Okay.
So.
Anyway, it was very good actually.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes, it's different. You know, when you have big groups or small groups, then you cannot. It's totally different, right? From this morning, and it's ultimately for me it's the same, coming from the same space,
right?
Or whatever we can call it, but yes.
Okay, I'll make a move then.
Yes. See you.
See you.
Yeah.
I took a bicycle.
Yes, good. So enjoy.
Yes.
See you around.
Yeah.
Yes. Bye bye. Yeah. So it could be a chance, because satsang is also for personal questions.
Okay.
So it could be a good time for that if you feel like.
Okay. Well. Okay. Just now, I'm still stuck with purification.
Yes.
Because you were saying, I think you were quoting somebody else. You said that you need to get the abnormal up to normal first.
I was quoting Swami Prajnampad, is a teacher well known in France. Was a teacher of Arnaud Desjardins. And yes, so he was saying from the abnormal to normal, then like the spiritual quest or something. So if you're too abnormal somehow, you cannot make it. So he said he was saying that, something like that. So he was practicing the lying and like a therapy, because he was reading, he learned from Freud.
Yeah?
Freud, yes.
Okay.
So, yes. So.
Okay, well, yeah, because I always get caught. I always feel like most of my problems come from the same source.
Yeah.
Or we call it wounded inner child.
Yes.
If you know what I mean. So I sort of come back to that. But this sabotages some of my satsangs, because it's always like I'm always stuck in this idea that the light of the self, or the zero, will bring love and acceptance
Yeah.
to purify this part of me. So then I can start from a base. And I know this is the wrong attitude to Advaita, but it's a really strong Vasana, you see.
Yeah, so you both can be going together somehow. I mean, like, there is no harm to go if there you have a deep pattern or something. From my point of view, there is no harm to see to do a therapist or something to help that. If you take it like nothing different from taking a shower or having a coffee because you feel tired, it's just in the dream. Why not? Why not?
Okay. Yeah.
It's not mine, you know. It's not you. What you are does not need that. But for this phantom, do you have the power to stop it if it has to happen?
Okay, no, I don't.
You doubt.
I don't.
Yeah, but if you see that you have no free will, actual free will, the I is a phantom I and with a phantom free will. So just watch what happens if this actor is going to a therapist or anything. Why do you mind? You are already perfect. But this actor may need some. Let the phantom do whatever he likes. Don't take yourself for that actor. You are that. What is the actor? The essence of it. But you are not touched by whatever happened to this.
So it feels like, you see, when you say that, and I have some awareness of that part of me, it really lifts it up, or it makes everything not so heavy and serious and painful.
Yeah.
But I suppose I was stuck in the model before I came to Tiru.
In the motto?
Oh, I was stuck in an idea or a concept before I came to Tiru and Amalai.
Yes.
That we need to bring the light of the zero into the darkness of the subconscious. So whatever subconscious character.
Oh yes.
To bring them into the light.
So yes. So but this is what I said before about the noticing of the avoidance of the mind, right? So that's the best you can do in the field of the dream. Not talking about therapy. Just to be here and noticing the tendency to avoid.
Satyam, the problem is it's no water, so I left. And if you want in 20 minutes or something like this, I go out.
I will stop. It's better if you stop, right? Because for the sound.
Okay, I will. Sorry.
No, it's good.
Maybe, so I stop and
Yes,
after we do.
Yes, thank
Bye.
you. Yes, so yes, to not move from here. I mean, noticing, it's better to say, noticing the tendency of the mind to avoid to be here. Because if you have any pattern or trauma or anything, when it is triggered, the tendency is to run away from that feeling, right? It's a tendency. Have you noticed that? Yes, everybody is the same for everyone, right? So, but instead of controlling anything or to heal anything, just notice the tendency to avoid that feeling. And for each one in the dream, it's like that. To dare to look at the devil or the whatever is there without escaping. Even it feels terrible, with this awareness of being what you are, somehow, that nothing can burn you, even if the feeling is terrible, I cannot die. What I am is totally untouchable. If you are strong in that, you don't need to do anything. Just stay as what you are, and whatever comes, don't run away. And then it may do whatever it likes. Dissolve or attract a therapist or an action or anything in the dream. But you don't have to search for anything.
Okay.
Just be what you are and let the happenings, the phantom. And then the phantom will attract this actor may attract a situation or trigger or something, then it stays there. That is a way, a non-doing approach.
Okay, it
Let's
will
say.
attract what it needs, yes.
Or not. So this is without not placing you as an actor, right? Otherwise, if you are able to stay as what you are, and that's it. You don't need to do anything, right? But then, if you can't, then you have to place yourself as one and search for a therapist or do this or do that. You see?
Okay, yes.
But otherwise, you from the zeroness of what you are, then you just see what happens, and you don't mind. But you can use any tool. I told you about Baron Katie's work. You can question a belief also like that. Or anything is anyway part of the dream. So you don't mind. You can. I found it useful.
Okay.
For some people to use that. It's a question of is that true and so on. So if you have some patterns, it can help to release something.
Okay. No, I'll look up Baron Katie. Yeah.
Yes. And you question, you put it as a statement, and is that true, and so on. You follow the questions and this. So I don't know the methods, but there are many methods. But that is one who is really going at the core of the patterns. Is that true, and so on. But at the end, it will come back to inquiry. Who is asking, is that true? You will always come back to I at the end. But if something is disturbing as an abnormality, as you say, then we can go back somehow in the dream and use some tools. Why not? Nothing is wrong or right.
Okay.
Yes. So, and as you said, if you can do it another time. Otherwise, if you really not now, because
I'll see, because I'm here for a bit longer. I'll see if I can do it by myself. But if not, I think I'll
yes.
try one.
Yes, this is yes, like, how would you want to talk about it and put it like a statement now? Not doing really the whole stuff, but we can see how would you state it.
How would I state it? I'll just think what the main problem is. For me, there's a resistance. Well, I'll see if I can I don't know if I can state it. I'll just say what the main problem is. It's just a fundamental unhappiness to be doing anything, and it always makes me want to do things which aren't good for me, like get drunk or eat a load of food or take drugs or something like that. So I'm not doing any of that just now. I'm actually fasting. Oh my God, I've been cleansing things. Because I'm fasting, it's stronger. But I think it's just this idea that will never go away. It's the idea that life is quite fundamentally painful. And when I see this pattern, I see I'm stuck in it and I come out of it. So I already know it isn't true. But I've had a lot of really bad sleeping problems. And I've also got the problem with my digestion as well. That's kind of why I'm fasting anyway. But I'm not sure how to make this into a statement. If the statement probably is like life's really shit and there's nothing I can do about it. Okay,
so more in a, let's say, satsang space, then and related to the inquiry.
Okay, yeah.
So then, the first I remind a few things about when the first I is coming out of the zero, the absolute, right? Is coming with the original wound, I would call that. So all of the wounds are like children's, like byproducts. But the one already out of the zero, within the first Shruti or eye awareness or the word, with that is ingrained somehow the idea of separation, the idea of with the fear of losing something, that you are not complete. Fear is ingrained in the first Shruti eye.
Oh, okay, yes.
So you don't necessarily to go to therapy, because we all are the same. I mean, the original wound is in the dream of all the ones. Experience it in different ways, different wounded ways, but the root is the same, is the fear. Because when you are, the moment you exist, I exist, the fear is there. The fear of dying, of living, of disappearing, of fear of enjoying. Sometimes we fear to enjoy because behind is the fear of losing the enjoyment. I cannot enjoy that because if I get attached to it, I will. So the fear is necessarily there, right? So then, when you see that, try to not avoid this original wound, which is totally normal. It's the first dream, you know. The first dream of the I came out with this wound also, this fear. So if you try to heal any other byproduct wills, it will be further in the dream. But if you inquiry is like pulling back the string and going, where is the root cause of all wounds? The original wound is the fear, because there is the idea of separation, and it's alienation, right, of the I. So this is self-inquiry. So now you don't need necessarily to, maybe if you like you can, but just stay with this idea of this. Your wound is not different than any other one in the dream wound. There is only one wound.
Okay, that's actually very helpful. Yes.
One wound is the wound, the original fear, and the fear and the separation. Because the one then is out of zero, then is create some other one. Then the fear of losing is always there, losing or whatever, or dying like this. And you stay with that. It doesn't mean you have to deal with it or do anything, but just acknowledge this tendency of avoiding the original wound. And you are not alone. Everyone in the dream has the same wound. And then you realize that this Shruti that you feel sometimes of the I, the same Shruti wound you can relate to. Everybody has the same Shruti wound, you can say.
Yes.
And you can sense it. There is no you and me. There is only I. So within this I is also one wound. Wound, fear, loneliness, fear of separation. This is the original wound. So there is only one. So there is no you and me, and there is no your wound and my wound. There is only one wound, which is a existential wound. As soon as I is out of zero, of the absolute, then this wound is there. It's an existential crisis. So you don't keep it as your personal crisis or wound. It's not personal. Then you can depersonalize it, right? And see. And as you told me the other day, you feel this Shruti I, this I.
Yeah.
Then within that is also the original wound.
And
Depersonalize it. Everybody has the same in the dream, right? And when you serve in Christ, stay there, and there have the courage to face this first devil. It's not yours. It's not yours. It's the same. Only one devil. The first I with this somehow. We call it devil because it seems it's giving us trouble. But when you see as not real, then it's different from what you are. It's not seen anymore as a problem because it's seen as a phantom devil. But now it seems so true for you. You want to get rid of it. But to demystify it, you have to look at it eye to eye. I mean, this eyes, not this eye, but you have to look straight somehow, and not to run away. Not to look for it, for necessarily to go into doing therapy stuff, no, Osho and so on. No. Go here and you notice the tendency of the mind to avoid this existential crisis. That's it. And then it can be seen for what it is. So there is no other way to not run away. And you feel it. It's not. That's what I was telling to Deva, who left. That's why in Arunachala you can feel that fire sometimes because it will push you back to this original crisis of existence, right? But if you don't run away and you dare to feel whatever is there, it might be totally unpleasant, but then this is how it may transform in a nectar or not, but for what you are, it doesn't make difference. Pain or nectar, and then you can even experience this pain of existing, but with joy within. When it's not avoided. So it's like what you are is absolute contentment, and whether there is this Shruti eye or whatever experience or pain, there is a joy behind somehow, because it is seen as a phantom pain. It's in the dream. This pain of existing, this emotional, existential crisis is in the dream. When it is seen as so, then there is a joy somehow. Joy which is not related to it, independent. So a joy does not need joy. It means joy is there even there is a crisis of existence or whatever. It may, but there is no need to search for a joy like this. It's just like something we cannot. I say joy, but we cannot describe. It's just be in spite of being a crisis or not.
Yeah, I understand what you mean.
And that is, and if you like that, you don't need therapy because you got the point. You see, you get the point of the undivided. It's not a separate wound. My wound, your wound. My eye, your eye. No, they go together. I is necessarily married with a wound. So first awareness has this wound within, hidden as a seed. The seed is there. So it's totally normal. What you experience is totally normal, but it's part of the dream. Awareness come with a wound, original wound of existing. So, and it's not personal. That's another point.
Okay.
To see it as not personal. But then I take it as personal, I and my wound. I want to keep married with my wound. I'm so attached to my wound.
But that's really helpful. That one step backwards makes it much more simple. Much more easy to accept in my daily life. And then I'm not giving birth to more eyes, because then it's always the next one that wants to control it, or the one that wants to heal it, and it's like, that goes on forever.
And then you go to the core. Now we are at the core. Where can you be more at the core than the first eye, the word, or the Shruti eye awareness? The first lingam. When it coming out of the zero, then the idea of separation and the fear of losing anything or to disappear is there. And then that's all. You have just to recognize that and to be what you are in spite of this, which you cannot avoid. And the idea to want to avoid that is making it more real. I had a dream when I was a teenager. I don't know if I told you that in a previous chat song. The dog in fire.
Yes, you did say that, yeah.
But it's really, so at that time I did not really understand. So I would tell it again because it's very helpful to see it like that. So there was I was dreaming in the dream that there was a beast, like a dog, but more than a dog, a beast, like in fire, something like terrible. And I was outside of the house, on the grass of the house somewhere, and with a torch of fire, I don't know how to call this in English. Chalumeau in French, I don't know. Anyway, and I was trying to kill that
Yeah.
It was so scary, and the more I was trying to burn it, to destroy it, to kill it, it was growing, and became more terrible, more big. And then I guess I woke up. But this is the first devil I trying to kill outside,
Yes.
the original fear. So it's perceived as the devil is outside, right? So I'm afraid. So you can call this the first dog, from God to dog, right? This is what Karl Renz say, from the first God, absolute God, then this is the first dog, the first I awareness. And this is what I saw in my dream. It was a dog, more than a dog, but like a beast. This is the first I. So within the first beast, I is like a double sword, double coin,
Yes.
double-sided coin. So the I awareness, but the other side is a beast with a fear. So this fear, this beast, you have to face to demystify it.
Okay, yes.
And then it is seen as a phantom beast. It seems to be very powerful and scary. But we are that which is manifesting as this double side coin.
Okay.
This I awareness, but the other side is like the beast. So with the beauty and the beast.
Okay, yes.
The beauty is a nice side of the coin. The world was God, and the world was with God, and the world was God. This is a nice side of the coin. The I awareness, oh, beautiful, and the first God, the creator. But the other coin, the other side of the coin is a beast.
Yes.
So the beauty and the beast. So we are both. What we are is prior to that, but we are in manifestation both. So we have to be in spite of these two aspects, the beast and the beauty. That's the idea of the story, the movie, the beast and the beauty. You can see like that. It's the deepest maybe inside. Yes, and the beast is there, and the beast will have many side effect wounds, like the book of the 5 wounds: rejection, abandonment, and whatever, the 5.
Okay, yeah.
But the mother wound is this beast, the first beast.
Okay, yes.
And so don't be afraid. What you are cannot be burnt, cut. This beast cannot harm what you are. It seems so. It's and you look at it, not as something separate or something like it, not going into any games, but to not run away and to just be here. And then you will see that you are the beast. You are the beast, you are the beauty and the beast. In the manifestation, the one. But what you are in reality is prior to that beauty and beast. Not running away, because usually our education says you have to be nice, you have to be polite, you have to be like this, don't be angry, this. But the beast is, I want to be angry. So let the beast express itself, be yourself, and there can be some anger without anyone being angry. When the one is seen as a phantom, and whatever expression is there is without the one experiencing what is experienced, and there is no. So from having many masks in the deeper layers of the dream, you see this mask and this protection. It's like props, so many props. This mask, and the mask are dropping.
Yes.
Props dropping, and then what is the last mask? Is I, the beauty, and the beast is the last mask. But this you cannot avoid it to be here. But this is like we can say like the purified without so many masks.
Yes.
Because all the mask has been seen as fake, but this this, you cannot avoid the dream to be here. It is seen as a dream, but you don't mind dreaming. Otherwise, you want this to not be here.
Yes.
This beast, this feeling of this wound, I want it to not be here. But by one, something is wrong with that and this. But by going at the root, meaning that you stay here, you don't run away from anything, and you are just yourself. And for that, you don't have to do anything. So it's whatever Ramana was saying or whoever, just be what you are. And by being what you are, just seeing the tendency of the mind to avoid, that's it.
Okay, yeah, so listening to you, that's really helpful. It also occurs to me that, yeah, I've always seen masks, and my mind always put maybe overwhelming fear as the bottom, but it isn't. The bottom of it is the fact that I think it will never go away, because it changes shape a lot. Because I've faced it, say, with like, I've had kind of Kundalini experiences where I felt I was going to die, or ayahuasca and things like that, and it's imprinted, I've conditioned myself to think it's actual fear, which is the main thing, but that's only one of the masks, and it's much more simple than
so
that.
the fear? The fear is, the original fear is the root.
Now, would you say that's the root, that original fear that's
Yes.
outside and inside, everything, yeah?
Original fear, when the I came out, then it has this fear within.
Okay.
Because the one come, so another one will be there, you create another one, and two and three, and so the fear of being separated or losing this one, it's like all the fears come from this original fear.
And these vasanas, is it possible for those to go, or do you always kind of have that?
But if you go at the root, you don't mind of any vasanas, because the original vasana is I awareness.
Okay.
Is the original fear.
Oh, so when you face
This
that,
is the first vasana, right?
Yes.
Then other you can forget.
Okay.
You stay there,
Yes.
you see then you are at the core. And other vasanas are just byproduct, children. And if you see that one, then they are. But without the intention that it has to disappear. The one will always be there. It is seen as a phantom, this is a different. If you want to kill it, you want it to disappear, you make the dream real. But if you see it as a phantom, it does not need to go for what you are to be what you are. It does not need to go, it is seen as a phantom. Then as Carl is saying, you cannot kill a phantom. If you go in that game, then you make it real. But no, you see it as an hallucination. It's an hallucination. It's an imagination, right? So the zero for play has been imaginating.
It's been imagined.
Imagined, yes. So and it's seen as a phantom. And then why not? And so, and you don't avoid yourself.
Okay, yes.
And then whatever happens by itself. You are not going into the game of I need to solve this or that. I mean the phantom actor can, but what you are is not going into that, does not need to. You are prior to that, but you let the game whatever happen. That's how it. That's why also we are here, right? So because when you see that, it's the core.
Yeah.
Then you don't need to go in all this long path and misleading and this is not even to this is the final understanding and it will be gone forever. No, you see that the game would never stop.
Yeah.
But at least it is seen as so. And it is somehow demystified this.
Yeah, and it frees up my life, because I do know I'm overly attached. I know when I think of doing anything like therapy or taking anything like yoga too seriously, that it's the wrong path. I kind of know I shouldn't go too far. So I'm glad. But now I'm speaking to you. This is experiential. Like this type of thing, I hear it in satsang, but it doesn't really hit to the core.
But I would add that now we're at the core. But then, if the actor may need to go on the second, third generation wounds, byproducts, why not? But my interest in satsang is to talk about that.
I see, yes.
With the original one. So if I do on private session some stuff, we can go back to some byproduct wound somehow. But I always end up also in private session also to touch that. Because instead of giving fish, it's like, how can you fish yourself?
Okay, yeah.
Fish yourself and see that you cannot escape what you are, and you cannot escape this part of the dream, this pain, and it's not personal. And then you can relate in the dream, that it's not personal, and this Shruti, this I which seems to be separate, I and you. The wound also seems to be separate. If you're in a relationship, often you have an opposite wound. It seems like somebody is pushing and somebody is pulling, right? Somebody feels rejected and the other one feels like is in asphyxia, right? So it's often, not always, but often works like in concave convex.
Yes.
Right? So it seems like two opposite wounds. But if you look well, it is the same. In a relationship, if you are on the same line, you can see that your I and you is imagined, and the separate wound are imagined, but the last dream is to see it as one wound. There is not an opposite wound, it's the same wound.
Okay, yes.
And that seeing is really, then if you're in a relationship, you don't see at your wound, my wound, you need to speak even. You don't need to speak anymore. It is seen, recognized. And then, like an automatic compassion, because it's not you're accusing the other one or looking for the other one, putting responsibility outside.
Okay, yes.
Then you are taking responsibility for your own shit, your own core wound, which is the same for the other one. But in the dream, I'm speaking now only at the separated level, but for the one, then you take responsibility of your shit and wound. And then if you go, the core is the core of wound of existing, the fear, original fear. Yes, and you don't escape. And the tendency, usually we tend to throw out the garbage. It's like vomiting. It's nearly, when you are in a relationship or any kind of couple or other one, we tend to vomit because it's unbearable to feel that. So like the system want to vomit out, like, right? But then the more you see that, and I take my stuff somehow, and then this is when you start to face the devil or the fear. Instead of running away, vomiting it out or throw the garbage on the other one is like avoiding to feel it. But when you see that, let's taste that garbage. And that's how you can demystify it. Otherwise, if you continue to vomit it out, then yes. So and then it may or not change its nature. The garbage may become a nectar. Who knows? And whatever happened, but all this is within the dream. So now we're talking about on the one-to-one level. But for what you are, it doesn't matter all this. But I like to speak to both. The one can recognize itself and zero recognizes itself. And we are both. We are the zero dreaming to be the one, to have a wound and this and that. So it's like does it make a kind of picture?
Yes, that does makes a picture that makes sense, and I can feel within my body.
System.
Yeah, within my system it makes sense.
Yes, and then it's like again, like I was saying yesterday, like a fart. There is a release, and then yes, I'm willing to observe this tendency of avoidance. Whatever is there is there. I might burn on this appearance might burn, but I know what I am cannot be burned.
Okay, yes.
So now I see the game. Fearlessness. Then you see the fear from your fearlessness.
Okay, yes.
Yes, answer. Yes. So, what time is it? Yes, it's okay. We have time.
Okay.
Now we can, if you have another question or direction or something regarding that, because this is very.
Yeah, this is very.
It's the core.
Okay, here's another question. Now, I'm going to use it's something from another satsang, but the man was quoting Ramana. He was talking about Ramana, and he was saying that that when you can find peace in yourself, you attract the energy of the zero to go through your body and mind, and you can act from there. This is too much, isn't it?
For me, it's too much in the dream.
Okay.
You cannot attract the energy of the zero, So
actually, now that I'm saying it to you, it doesn't feel like a good question. This is why I don't ask questions in everyone else's satsang, because as you say, like, what am I talking about?
But maybe, I don't know if it, from which space or something he was talking, this person, but it's not, yes, so that, yes, I see what he means, but it's like when I say, first, what is why to have a practice is to, from the scattered mind, to bring back to the center. So he's talking about that peace, this relative peace.
That's basically what it means.
Yes, so that's a step to bring back attention to the center. But then you have to question the center I. So he's giving you a step.
Okay.
Right? It's not wrong, but it's in the dream. So it's in the dream, then the one is dreaming that. It will bring attention to the center, and then you will question the existence of the center. But all this is part of the dream. For what you are, you don't need that even. But the one may need. Right? So you don't need to stop the one to do that. But at the same time, you might click or hear that what you are does not need that even. You see this double sword.
Double sword, yeah.
Attacking you. I'm joking. Double sword. Always like a subliminal.
Yes, subliminal.
Subliminal message. But what I am does not need that even. But you don't prevent the one to do anything. It's like it can be like a mantra somehow, and then the zero recognizes itself. Oh, I don't mind.
So the zero recognizes itself eventually. Yeah,
this point is like, when people talk about that, I saw Carl or anyone, it's like Ramana says the self realize itself to itself by itself, something like that.
Okay, yes.
But this is like, it's like a pointer, because I feel there you cannot talk about that.
But because he did a good job, but yeah.
Huh?
They did a good job, but
he did a good job, Ramana. But you cannot say about that because it's not happening in time, and then realize that the self was already realized. So who realized what? That's why you see there is no link, because the self does not need to be realized.
And you couldn't say the one realizes the self or the mind realizes it. That's also not really true.
Sorry, to say what?
You couldn't say that the one realizes the self
No,
or the mind.
no,
This is also not
this
true.
is the where realized ones come, and the gurus and stuff, and then because you need one to be realized, realize one. You see,
Okay.
but it's that why it's more clear to see it that the one will never make it. I'm more on that school somehow for some. Totally hopeless. It's better that the one is totally hopeless, and by being hopeless, then the zero recognizes itself. But it's not the one doing it or being awakened or enlightened. The one will stay the one in the dream. Then it is cutting every danger for the ego to grasp anything, because many realized people or master teacher, then the ego is, the poison is there. And you say the one is realized, But to cut any danger, then when you call this beggar, then like Ramsurat Kumar, then where is the danger? Don't pretend that this one is enlightened. I don't pretend that this one is enlightened or awakened. I just see that I am that. What prior to that, but this one will stay this one in the dream. Then it's clear, no danger for ego. Where is the danger? Then it's so why you pretend to be? I pretend I made it. Awakening or this or that. No, that's I don't recommend. You do as you like, then you will become.
Ah, yes.
Yeah. Okay, shall we stop, or you have another?
No, that was really good. Yeah, we can stop there.
Yes, and then we can let it.
Yeah, that's really deep. Well, that gives me a lot to work with anyway. Yeah.
Or to not do anything with. Yes.
Or to not do anything with. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I will stop here.